There comes a moment when the pain of staying the same becomes far greater than the fear of change. That moment is the day you turn your whole life around. The day you turn your whole life around begins quietly, not with fireworks or celebration, but with a simple decision deep within that you finally deserve more than the life you've been settling for. It begins when you stop pointing outward, at your circumstances, your childhood, the economy, or the people who misunderstood you, and instead look inward, realizing that your future is written by the choices you make today. Many people wait for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the perfect timing, but nothing changes until you decide that now is enough. That today is the line between who you were and who you intend to become. Change doesn't arrive in a single grand gesture. It's born in the smallest disciplines, waking up early to learn instead of sleeping through your potential, choosing better habits even when nobody is watching, stepping away from the voices that keep you small and embracing the ones that help you grow. You begin to notice that life responds to effort, that when you change your philosophy, you change your direction. Your mind starts to open, searching for possibilities rather than excuses, and suddenly the world feels different. Not because the world changed, but because you did. You learn that the company you keep shapes your thinking, and your thinking shapes your results. So you choose to surround yourself with those who challenge your limitations rather than indulge them. You realize that every step forward, no matter how small, carries power, and each day becomes a new opportunity to build a better story. You start to dream again, not just with imagination, but with intention, seeing your future so clearly that its pull becomes stronger than your fears. You become honest about your habits, your past, your mistakes, yet instead of feeling ashamed, you feel empowered, because now you understand that every experience taught you something valuable about who you are capable of becoming. You discover that success is not reserved for the gifted or the lucky. It belongs to those who stay committed when progress feels slow, who keep moving when others quit, and who believe that the smallest improvement is still improvement. And with every day of consistent effort, your confidence grows, not because life suddenly became easy, but because you are becoming stronger. Soon, you look back and realize that the day your life changed was not the day you found a miracle. It was the day you decided to become one. The day you turn your whole life around arrives, not with noise, but with awareness, a quiet realization that you are no longer willing to live beneath your potential. It begins when you stop waiting for perfect conditions and start accepting full responsibility for where you are and where you want to go. Instead of blaming circumstances, you look inward and recognize that your choices, your habits, and your mindset have brought you here, and they are the keys to taking you somewhere new. This shift in thinking becomes the spark that lights the path forward. You understand that change is rarely dramatic at first. It starts with small decisions that seem almost insignificant. Choosing to wake up earlier, to read something worthwhile, to plan your day instead of drifting through it, to speak with purpose, to practice self-discipline even when no one notices. Every action becomes evidence that you are moving toward a better version of yourself. You begin to choose your environment carefully because the people around you influence your energy, your thoughts, and your direction. You learn to seek out those who inspire growth and distance yourself from anyone who tries to keep you small. Gradually, your priorities shift. You invest more in building skills, nourishing your mind, and taking steady steps toward the future you envision. You begin to see that success is not accidental. It is engineered through consistency, patience, and a willingness to learn. As you continue on this path, you come to appreciate that the journey is just as important as the destination. Every challenge becomes a lesson. Every setback becomes an invitation to grow tougher. And every small victory reinforces your belief that you are capable of far more than you once imagined. You discover that confidence is not something you wait to feel before taking action. It is something you build through action itself. With each new step, life begins to respond. Opportunities appear, not because the world suddenly changed, but because you changed the way you see it. You learn that vision has power. When you hold a clear picture of your future, it pulls you toward better decisions and keeps you steady even when progress is slow. You start to trust the process, understanding that meaningful transformation takes time and that every disciplined effort compounds. Eventually, you look back and realize that the day your life changed was not defined by external events, but by the moment you decided to take ownership of your future. It wasn't luck, nor a single dramatic breakthrough. It was a commitment to daily improvement, fueled by belief and discipline that turned an ordinary day into the beginning of an extraordinary life. The day you turn your whole life around often begins in silence, when you suddenly recognize that the life you are living no longer reflects the person you wish to become. There is a moment when excuses lose their power and the desire for progress becomes stronger than the comfort of staying the same. You start to see that waiting for the perfect moment is an endless trap. Life will never arrange itself neatly for you. Instead, real change starts the moment you acknowledge that your decisions have shaped your reality and new decisions can reshape your future. You realize that growth is not born from wishing. It is born from discipline, from choosing to learn when you feel tired, from pushing forward when doubt tries to stop you, and from believing that even small steps matter. The shift begins in your mind, the place where dreams are built and destinies are formed. Suddenly, you become aware of your habits, your influences, your thoughts, and you begin questioning what helps you grow and what slows you down. This awareness becomes the first tool that moves you forward. As you take responsibility, your actions begin to change. You understand that the company you keep affects your future, so you choose to surround yourself with people who challenge and uplift you rather than those who reinforce your limitations. You begin to recognize the value of learning, reading more, listening more, thinking more, because every new idea becomes a brick in the foundation of a better life. You start setting goals, not just vague wishes, but concrete plans that guide your daily effort. The process is not instant. Some days you feel powerful, other days uncertain, but consistency becomes your quiet strength. You learn that success is not a single event. It is the result of repeated choices made even when motivation fades. Discipline becomes your ally, showing you that what you do each day matters far more than what you do once in a while. You learn to focus on the future without ignoring the present, using every day as an opportunity to build momentum. Step by step, the small improvements begin to accumulate, and your confidence grows, not because everything is easy, but because you are now willing to do what is necessary. Over time, you notice the world responding differently to you. Opportunities that once seemed invisible begin to appear because your mindset has shifted. Now you look for possibilities rather than reasons to quit. You begin to trust the journey, understanding that every challenge carries a lesson and every setback contains a seed of strength. You learn to celebrate progress, no matter how small, because you realize that growth is happening beneath the surface even when results have not fully arrived. With each day of persistence, you transform your habits, your thinking, your expectations, and eventually, your life. The day you turned your life around was not a miracle. It was the moment you decided to take ownership of your time, your choices, and your future. It was the moment you stopped hoping for change and began creating it. From that moment forward, you discovered that your life does not improve by chance. It improves by commitment, perseverance, and a vision strong enough to guide you through every season.